So we're back again with talking about casting on for socks, and I have done the twisted, crazy, strange, weird, German, drunken, twisted cast on, and you can see it here on 3 of my needles. I'm going to add a 4th one. So let me get the 4th one in here, and as I showed you in the other video, I just let the first one kind of dangle and use the empty one to do the next stitch, which is behind the 2 halves of the thumb loop, in through the top, over the finger loop, and back out through the little triangle there. And then I'm going to keep on doing that, and I want 9 stitches on this needle because this is worsted weight yarn, and much more than that would make a sock way too big. This one will be like a nice slipper sock, kind of bed sock thing. It's 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay. Now I don't have 9 stitches on all my needles. These last 3 have 9. This one has, you see, 3, 6, 9. This one is 3, 6, 9. But the first one has 10. The first one is just a little folded over loop on the needle from before, and then there's 9 more. So this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There's a reason why I have an extra stitch on that needle. So let me go back to the last one. I'm going to keep holding this last one in my right hand like I've just finished casting on with it, and I'm going to bring the first needle up and around. That's all that it takes to get going. Bring it up and around, and it's actually in position to knit. And I've got my empty needle right here for knitting with. But before I actually start knitting, I'm going to take the first stitch here that was just that single loop. I'm going to slip it over onto the same needle as the last stitch. So I'm going to slip the beginning cast on stitch over and let it sit next to the ending cast on stitch. Okay, so that's just slipped over there. Then just kind of pinch that together so it doesn't go anywhere. Then I'm going to stick my needle in my empty one into the next stitch and continue knitting. It doesn't matter if you knit English style or continental, this works just as well either way. But I'm going to do knit 2, purl 2 ribbing. Okay, so that's 1 knit, 2 knits, and you find that double pointed needles are easier to handle if you ignore the ones you're not working with. The more you try to fuss with them, the harder they are to work with. So that's 2 purls, and that's the phone ringing, which we'll just ignore. Somebody else will get it. And purl 2. Real life always intrudes, doesn't it? And knit 1. Push those up to the middle so they don't fall off. I'm not that afraid of them falling off. I'm just paranoid. And then over here, continue in the pattern. Occasionally I have people who try to restart at the beginning of each needle. You can't. You have to continue in the pattern. And purl these 2. And knit. And purl. Oops. And knit. And then over here we're going to purl. And I know this is the boring part. Actually, maybe not. I really enjoy watching other people knit, so it could be that you enjoy watching me knit. That could be the case. And knit. And purl this one. And then we're back around to that last needle again. We can tell because it's the one the tail's hanging from right there. And the last was just 1 purl. So we're going to just do the second purl here. And then knit 2, and purl 2, and knit 2. Okay, and then we have 3 stitches left. There's one here, and then there's those first and last cast on ones. You can see the last one is kind of trying to curl itself up here. We're going to join those together, kind of. We're going to purl these beginning ones together to help make a smooth join with no jog at the end. So I'm going to purl this one, and then all I have left are the first and last cast on stitches. So I'm going to purl those together. That brings the beginning of the cast on down to the same level as the end of the cast on. And then when you're completely finished, or a few more rows in on your sock, if you take the tail and just tuck it back in through the other side. I don't have a darning needle here with me, but I can use my knitting needle to kind of hook it through there. Knitting needles are very useful things. Just so you can see, once I pull that back through, it makes an almost seamless beginning to your sock. And then you can just keep on knitting and purling and make the cuff of your sock. That's all. Bye-bye.